Good morning, students. Welcome you all to today's science class. Children, in our previous class, we have studied about different parts of the plant like stem, root, and leaf. We have studied about structure, function, and modification of leaf, stem, and root. Okay, today we are going to study about flowers and fruits. You know, flowers is the most beautiful and attractive part of a plant. A plant can be identified by its flower. We call rose plant by the name of the flower rose, sunflower, etc. Some flowers have bright colors and pleasant smell to attract insects like bees and butterflies. But on the other hand, some flowers have unpleasant smell like Rafflesia, and some other insectivorous flowers have unpleasant smell. You can see here some bright color flowers are here. They have very pleasant smell even. Okay. Now we will study about structure of a flower. We will study about different parts of the flower in detail. Most flower have the same basic structure. A typical flower has a stalk, and that stalk of a flower is called pedicel. Okay, stalk of the flower is called pedicel, and the tip of the pedicel continues as an enlarged axis, and this enlarged axis is called receptacle or thalamus. Okay, the base of the flower is called thalamus. The green leaf-like structure present at the base of the flower are called sepals. Green leaf-like structure which is present at the base of the flower is called sepals. Another name of the sepals are calyx. Okay, and inside the sepals the flowers has whorls of petals. Petals are usually very bright in colors. These are the petals. Petals are bright color and have fragrance to attract the insect. And inside the petals, the flower has stamens. Stamens is the male reproductive part of a plant. Stamen is male reproductive part of plant, and the stamens have three parts. The stalk of the flower stamen is called filament, and the one on the tip of the stamen there is a anther. Inside the anther the small pollen grains are present. You can see inside the anther pollen grains are present, and these pollen grains are play a very important role in producing the new plant. Okay, we shall learn about this pollen grain in detail in higher classes. Okay, in the center of the flower there is a ovary. In the center of the flower there is a ovary. Ovary is female reproductive part of a plant. You know, stamen is the male reproductive part of a plant, and ovary is a female reproductive part of a plant. Both male and female reproductive part of a plant are present in flower, and that is why flower is called reproductive part of a plant. Okay, ovary extend at a tip into a slender style. Okay, and which terminates, style terminates into stigma. The ovary may have one or more chamber. You can see in the picture the transverse section of ovary. We can see the chambers, and the ovules are present inside the chamber of ovary. Ovules, and these ovules turn into seeds on maturation. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, one more time you can see different parts of the plant. The base of the flower is called thalamus. On the thalamus, leaf-like green structure is present, which is called sepals or calyx. Inside the calyx, the whorls of petals are there. Bright color petals are there, are called petals or corolla. Inside the petals, the male reproductive organ called stamens are present, and stamens have style and anther, and inside the anther the pollen grains are present. Okay, in the center of the flower, the female reproductive part is there. It's called ovary, and ovary have stigma on its upper part, and this stigma, these are the parts of the ovary, style and stigma. Ovary have some chambers. Number of the chambers are present in ovary, and inside the chamber of ovary the ovule is present, and that ovule turn into seeds on maturation. Okay, number of ovules are also varies from flowers to flowers. Flowers come in wide variety of sizes, shapes, color and arrangement of their floral parts. Some flowers have no sepals, while in others sepals and petals cannot be differentiated. Means sepals and petals fuse to form different kind of part, and that part is not, we not called it sepal or petal, it is another one. Okay, some flowers may have either stamen or carpel, or some of the flower have both stamen and carpel. Okay, I hope you understood all the parts of the flower. To study the different types of flower, you can do this activity at home. Children, collect different types of flower and draw well neat and label diagram of that flowers, and study the flower and answer the questions like how many sepals does the flower have, how many petals does the flower have. Write whether the sepals and petals are joined, fused or free. You can see in the picture some of the petals are fused. Some of the petals of flower are free. Okay, so you have to write down whether the sepals or petals join, fused or free. What is the color of the sepals? What is the color of the petals? And how many stamens and carpels are present in the flower? All these we have to study nicely. Collect some flowers and do nice observation. Okay, now move to the next topic, pollination. Children, pollination is the process in which the pollen grains from the anther of the carried to the stigma of either same flower or another flower, and by wind or insect, and this process of carrying of pollen grain from one flowers to another flower is called pollination. or wind. Okay. One more time. What is pollination? Pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of either the same flower or of the flower of same kind of another flower, and the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma by wind or by insect, and this transfer of pollen grain to stigma is called pollination. After pollination, the fertilization takes place and ovary swells up. After fertilization, ovary swells up and change into fruit, and the ovule changes into seeds, and that is why fruit is made up of fruit wall and seed, means that ovary change into fruit and ovule turns into seeds. After pollination, only ovary change into fruit. If there is no pollination, then no fruit will be formed. Some flowers are composite flowers. For example, marigold. You can see in the picture. Such kind of flowers are called composite flower. It means the flowers are made up from so many flowers together. Means that one petal of marigold is a complete flower. One petal of a marigold is a complete flower, whole flower. Okay, such type of flowers are called composite flower. For example, marigold. Okay, now notice the position of ovary in a flower. When the sepals and petals arranged above the ovary, you can see in the picture, the ovary is downside, and on the ovary, above the ovary, sepals and petals are arranged, and such kind of arrangement of ovary is called epigynous flower. Such type of flowers are called epigynous flower. Okay, in some flower, the sepals and petals are arranged below the ovary, means ovary is taking higher position and sepal and petals are grow from the downside of the ovary, and such kind of arrangement of the flower is called hypogynous flower. In some flowers, sepals, petals and ovary is present on the same level. Such type of arrangement is called hypogynous flower. Okay, one more time. When sepals and petals grow above the ovary, such kind of arrangement is called epigynous flower. Sorry. Okay, and when sepals and petals are grow above the ovary, below the ovary, such type of condition is called hypogynous condition or hypogynous flower. And when sepal, petals, ovary are grown in the same line, then such kind of flower are called perigynous flower. I hope you understood this arrangement of the ovary in a flower. Children, to study the ovary of a flower, you can do one activity. You have to take a blade and cut the ovary of a flower vertically and transversely and place it on the slide and observe it. If you have lens, hand lens, then you can observe it at a home and try to answer the questions like how many chambers are there in ovary. You can see, you first of all you cut the ovary vertically and try to count the chambers present in the ovary. How many ovules are present in the ovary? And okay, Okay, that much you have to observe. In this way, we are come to end of the lesson. Let's have a recap. We have studied in the lesson, like we classified the plant in the three different groups like herb, shrub and trees on the basis of their height and nature of their stem. We classified the plant in three different groups like herb, shrub and trees. Herb are very small plants are called herb. Medium sized plants are called shrub and very tall plants are called trees. In this way, classification of plants takes place on the basis of their height and nature of the stems. Okay, flowering plants has two parts, the root system and shoot system. Okay, below the ground root system and above the ground shoot system. Okay, we have studied about different types of root, tap root and fibrous root. Tap root have main root from which number of branches root arises, and fibrous roots are highly branched and fiber like branches are arise from the base of the stem. Okay. Function of the root. Roots fix the plant to the soil and help to absorb the water minerals from the soil and also bind the soil particle together. We have studied about modification of root. Roots are modified to store food like carrot, radish, turnip, etc. And also roots are modified to give extra support to plant. Example, banana tree. You can see in the picture. Okay. The stem keeps the plant upright. You can see because of the stem only the plants upright in the soil. And stem bear the branches, leaves, flowers and fruits. Branches, flower, fruit. Okay. Even stem transport the water, minerals and food to all the parts of the plant. Stems are modified to give support and to store food and water and to prepare the food. Leaves of green plants make the food for entire living world by the process of photosynthesis. Leaves gives out the water during transpiration. Leaves are modified into tendrils. You can see in the picture tendril. Leaves are modified into tendrils and which give the support to the plant, and leaves are also modified into spines which reduce the water loss and protect the plant from being eaten away by the grazing animals. A flower of a plant is a reproductive part of a plant. And we also studied process of pollination. Okay, here we have studied about venation. Leaf have reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate means the veins of the leaf are making network of a veins, and such kind of venation is called reticulate venation. And the veins of the leaves are run parallel to each other, then such kind of venation is called parallel venation. So we have studied all these things in this lesson. Okay, in next class we will study about book exercise and question answers. That's all for today, children. Have a good day.